We are live at the TU Center getting ready for a big night of hoops when Monmouth takes on Siena. It's going to be a fun time. It's some of the class of the MAAC. And speaking of the class of the MAAC, anybody who's got Esquire at the end of their name, it just comes off classy. I'm looking at your bio.
Rich for a guy who wants a PhD honor, I guess that would be important. It doesn't seem to impress our coaches very often.
Rich, we appreciate you making time for us. The MAAC making their home for the tournament here at the TU Center. What made this the perfect location for that?
Well, the MAAC has a long relationship with this building. We were the first major event in here when it opened. So it's geographic. It's a good central point for our schools over the years, whether currently 11, but I haven't looked this morning, but you never know how that's going. But it's a good distance, and frankly, it's a facility that's been well supported by the fans locally, both for the MAAC and with Siena. And not all our schools have that fan base. So we've looked at a lot of different options, and we always will. We're working on some things right now with Nassau Coliseum to test the waters down there, and next year and the year after. And we hope to have that announcement relatively soon just to see, all right, could another site host it? And down in the downstate New York metropolitan area. So we look at all options, but this has been a great site for us for a long time.
See, I told you it was more than just the fact that we had a dino barbecue in here. You're right.
Well, there is that. As you can see, I don't push away a lot of plates. But,
we get along. We would understand each other. We live the same life.
What are some of the events to look forward to at the MAAC tournament on the way that week leading up to the big games and the championships?
Well, it's a long week. You bring 22 teams in here, but we'll have a lot of focus on the new Capitol Center. It's opening up, and we are the soft launch for that. And we're going to be doing our award show up there live on ESPN3. And we're going to have an announcement after that related to a new multi-team event we're working on in Belfast, Ireland. So we're looking forward to having that announcement. So we try to blend in some real hard type of news, which is our award show and all that. And then we do events for the community, whether it's the Bounce to the Arena on Saturday or the Fan Fest, the events that we're doing relative to mac and cheese. That's been a local favorite. And I think with the new facility, it's going to be even better because last year was a little crunched because we had such a great turnout. This year it's going to be all the better in the new center. And fans that have only heard of the new Capitol Center will be able to come in and see it. So we appreciate the association with that building.
Commissioner of the MAAC joining us right now, live from the TU Center, Rich Ensor. We're going to be at the Mac and Cheese Fest, by the way.
Yeah, that surprises me. Now.
Yeah, we
made sure about it.
Last year we had to send an intern to it. They had us here, and I was like, look, I love the TU, but I would rather have the MAC.
Yeah, never again we sent an intern to the Mac and Cheese Fest. I think that was his last day.
We still haven't seen him.
No,
I have your coupon strips. I'm going to tell you when I get over.
Yes,
thank you.
It's not what you know. It's who you know.
Yeah, let's get into that broadcast. In about 2 weeks, Monmouth takes on Siena on the road for that game. How did that broadcast end up on ESPN2?
Hey, listen, well, first of all, just the schedule in general, I heard you ask earlier about, why now are you only seeing Monmouth? Well, frankly, we put our best games near the end of the year. We want to drive interest, and so you do see a Monmouth and an Iona. We see a Siena and Monmouth. Those are teams that we knew going into the scheduling process for the broadcast package that would be important. So that's not an accident. As it relates to the 2 versus the U, we do have a flex package with ESPN. We have a strong relationship with them. We're going to announce a new deal relatively soon. But right now, they get on Fridays to tell us, are we doing a game on the U or the 3? And we schedule up to 3 matchups in that window across the league. So you'll see a lot of Friday, Sunday matchups in the MAAC. And then we'll do others on Thursday, Saturdays to kind of complement it. But the main focus is always on Friday. And so we put these games there. And then ESPN gives us their preferences. They ask for feedback, and 99% of the time we say, yeah, that's a good call.
You don't have to give us all the details, but as a sports fan, a nut like Levack and I talking about 20, 25 hours a week, what is the future with the MAAC and ESPN3? What could we see down the line with broadcasts?
Well, we've been slowly ratcheting out ESPN3 production sites. Canisius and Monmouth were early adopters, and Canisius actually has a major in sports journalism now and broadcasting that's tied in with their studio. Monmouth has taken a different approach. They self-produce, but they do it using students, and also a mix of staff. In the next contract that we'll be announcing relatively soon, within 2 years, all 11 schools have to have these production facilities up and running. And we will be, on average, at the early years, producing 400 events per year on ESPN3, growing up to 600 during the term of the contract. And in all sports, not just basketball. The MAAC will directly support basketball. We're going to actually help fund some of that, up to 30 broadcasts a year per school, men's and women's. So, again, we're trying to be a leader with ESPN. We've partnered with them, whether it was with the launch of 3, with the launch of U before that. And by being an early adopter and a strong supporter of the brand, it's allowed us to really grow our presence within the basketball community.
Rich Ensor with us right now, the commissioner of the MAAC, and we're talking about all the growth of the MAAC, but you slipped in that you were in Belfast.
Yeah, it was.
Was that a vacation? I mean, because I
48 hours of fun, and fun in the cold and rain, as we say.
But nobody goes to Belfast for the weather.
Well, at this time of year, I actually went over for a couple of weeks of summer with the family. It's a beautiful area. Northern Ireland is much different than South. But I was over there because we're working on an event that'll start next year in Belfast. We're going to announce it soon. And we have teams committed for the first couple of years. Hope to have Siena involved sometime in the future. We're going to do a doubleheader to start with, and then we'll work it towards an MTE, a multi-team event, like we do at Advocare down at Disney. So still a lot of pieces coming through. I can't really talk about all the details. But yeah, 48 hours. We were in there meeting with all the local agencies that will be supporting it. And I ran into Ryan Oliver, who's a Victory Scholars in the Sports Changes Life program. He's having a great year, by the way. He says now that he can shoot anytime he wants, he's doing great. And I was talking to Coach Patsos. He's going to visit him over there in May. So Ryan's doing great for all the local fans, and he sends his greetings. We put out a couple of photos. So we did just a couple of school community events over there while I was there. And it's a great program, great city, one that's using sports to break down the barriers that came with all the problems they had there over the history. And we really appreciate being partnered up with Sports Changes Life.
I mean, I wouldn't hate, if you guys needed a show to go there and broadcast from Belfast.
I'm thinking.
We could probably make that work.
Yeah, that 4 a.m. hour in Albany regional work. It is a 5-hour difference. You got to figure that out.
That's why the radio gods invented tape delay. That's right.
I knew there was an answer.
Rich Ensor, we appreciate you. We appreciate the MAAC and the relationship with not only Siena but with the TU Center. It's always nice to enjoy that caliber of basketball right here in your backyard. Thank you for making time.
Oh, always a pleasure, guys.